Hey guys, so I've decided to do a video of all the coins I found. Well, not all the coins. This doesn't include the clad or the pennies. It's just all the older coins and silver that I found this summer. So we're going to start down here. Nothing too special, but I did find this is my first and only Mountie quarter. This nickel over here is some sort of like a centennial celebration, 1951. That was cool. I've never seen one, so that's the first time I've seen that. And then this nickel I just found cool. It's old, 1937. It was the first version of the beaver nickel. But there was a penny laying on top of it, and it kind of preserved it. You can see where it stayed nice and shiny compared to the other side where it's fully tarnished. So yeah. Over here, this is all my train track coins, I guess, and the one shot penny. This is a wheat cent. You can notice the wheat at the bottom there. Not sure what year it is, but it's been shot. And the other ones are just flattened out. This one I'm not 100% sure if it's a penny, but it might be. Not sure. Next along the list, we got my 3 unidentified coins. It bothers me to not know what they are, but I've looked every way possible. If you guys think you see something that you might know what it is, I'll just give you a quick look at them. There's almost something that wants to come through on the middle of him. Give you an example of how big he is. Here's a large cent. So all these unidentified ones, they're bigger than a large cent. It's a Vicky large cent. You can see my unidentified one is larger, and this other unidentified one is the same, maybe even bigger. So here's the other big guy. Very worn out. And like I said, I rubbed it with everything. No details coming through. And then this one was also, could be a button, but it's very thick. I put them with my unidentified coins, but I'm not even sure it is a coin. Could be a button. It's got a little dimple in the middle, but who knows. Moving along, so here's my large cents. These are just a few of the duplicate years I have. I just set those aside. Then up here in the plastic is like my collection I've started. So if I could fill every square, I'd have all the large cents. And if I could fill all these squares from this guy on, I would have all the small cents. Well, I have all the maple leaf ones. That wasn't the issue. It's just the first version small cent. I'm missing a few of those. And some of them are beat up. Like if you look at this dude, kind of bent. Probably had a little run in with a lawnmower. This one up here too is bent. So when I do find, I'm not sure what year that is, 1904, I think. The 03 is beside it, so it must be 04. But if I find a better one, obviously I'll switch it out. But for now, that's the only one I have of that year. But I was lucky enough to get the 58 and 59. That's these two here. 1858 and 1859. That's my 1882. He's part of this collection, but he's in a frame for now. When I get another 82, I'll stick him in the plastic. Moving along. So let's start up on this fella. Yeah. This is a Newfie penny, 1 cent Newfoundland. Under the crown is where the year would be, and it's all full of really bubbly, hard corrosion that I cannot get off. Same as this side. I would love to get it a bit clean. If you guys know a good way to clean these without destroying anything, let me know, because there's a few coins I have that are like this that I would like to clean up, or at least get that hard whatever it is. That would be a nice coin. And the years there, if I could get under that gunk, Next up, this is my Prince Edward Island 1 cent. Was happy to find that. Didn't think I'd find one of these, but that was cool. And again, this side is so full of that hard stuff. If you look at the bottom though, you can at least see the year, 1871. So yeah, that's another one I'd like to get cleaned up. Moving along, here is my Unsu. This is from Montreal. There's like some sort of plant on this side. This one's in rough shape. Couldn't get a year on them. Sometimes if you side light it, you can, let me just put the light like this. Unsu. Moving along. Now we got my ships, colonies, and commerce. This one's pretty bad shape too, but at least I can still see the boat. Maybe if I run closer. And the other side, you can still see the writing. Ships, colonies, and commerce. I think this is a halfpenny. Can't remember the year. But I was happy to see. Anytime you see a boat on a coin, you're like, wow, what is that? So yeah, it was my first and only one of those. Moving along. It's a British penny, 1860. You can just barely make out the soldier sitting there. See where his knee is bent and he's holding like his staff or trident or something. Opposite side, you can kind of see Victoria's outline. She's there. Again, there's some bad corrosion on this one. 1860. So that's it for those ones. If I can get focused here. Moving along. So I do have 2 confirmed Indian head pennies. This is my first one from 1898. Pretty nice shape. The other guy's a little more worn, but you can still see him. He's 1883 or 82, I can't remember. It could be 2 or 3. This one has a hole in it. That was cool. This one here, I think it's an Indian. I looked at him so much. You can see a bit of the lettering around the edge. If I put him beside an Indian here, maybe we could look together. He's in rough shape, whatever, but I think it's an Indian. Anyway, it's hard to tell. When you have it in your hand, you can see more. So that's 2.5 Indians, we'll call them. And this one was almost a buffalo nickel. Good old nickel, 1940. So I think it was 1 year away from being a buffalo. Maybe next time. But I did find 1 large cent. This one went on unidentified for a long time. I didn't know what it was. And then I finally took an SOS pad. I saw that on Hoover Boys. He did it to one of his coins and he got an ID and I did it. And I also did it to those other ones, but this was the only one that some detail came out. You can see 1 cent. It also has a hole in it. You can see, just barely see Lady Liberty there. You can see her cap. This is a classic head. Large cent. You can almost make out a few of the letters L-I. She's facing to the left. Very worn out. Happy to find it though. First and only American large cent. And then One of my best finds, the New Jersey copper. This is my oldest copper, 1787. Completely flat on one side. And that's it for that little pile. Moving along. Here's like my things that don't have any value really. They're mostly tokens. This was that gaming token. Love this one. This guy, wow, he really caught me by surprise. Look how big this is. And I thought it was real. When this came out of the ground, I was like, look how good, it's in such good shape. I was so excited. 1867, give me a break. What the frick's this? Turned out to be from the 1970s. I guess it was Shell gas stations were giving these tokens out if you filled your tank or something. I'm not sure the whole story. Needless to say, it was a big letdown, but it's still a really cool looking thing if I could get a nice close-up on it. But it wasn't really from 1867. Next up was this, like, I guess when the King George and Queen Elizabeth got married, they made these sort of little medallion. I found 2 of them. I gave one to one of my buddies. I also gave away a lot of large cents, like years that I've had duplicates. Probably gave between 8, maybe 10 away. Fear God, honor the King. Can you imagine them putting something like that on a medallion nowadays? All right. Moving along, no cash value, probably some sort of arcade thingy. Parking token. And now let's get to, just give you, this is the Wheaties I found. So, nothing special, but 36 Wheaties. And now we'll get to the silver. We'll start off with the dimes. As you see, I did clean, when I first started in the summer, I used baking soda to clean my finds. And then I eventually figured out that's not a good thing to do, so I stopped doing it midway. So some are shiny and some are still dirty. So we got 1940. This will be in order. 41, 42, we got 243s, 245s, 46, 50, 51, 52, 57, old lawnmowers, 59, I think. Moving up, and 60, 61, got 3 62s, 2 65s, 66, and 2 68s. And the 68s are only half silver. Now let's go to the quarters. So here's my oldest moose head quarter, or caribou head. I always call them moose. So 45, 52, I think that's 55, 56, 58, 57, he's in the wrong spot, 60, yeah, there's 2 60s, 2 61s, 62, 63, 65, 66, and 4 68s, which again, the 68s are only half silver. Now we'll go down to my older dimes and my 1 fish scale. So the fish scale is 1903. This is my oldest dime. I don't know the date, but it's Edward. I think it's a 1909. You can kind of, when you hold it right, you see 1900, and it's either 8 or 9. 1920. This is another one. This was my first old dime that I found. No date. That one's a George. 1731. I found 1 more nickel, American War nickel. 43. And 1 silver American quarter. 1951. That was cool. And my 2 oldest quarters are 1910 and a 1920. I found both of these in the same hole. Super happy when you see 2 whole quarters. You know you're on a good spot when they come out together. Then most of you have already seen my my hammered coin. This was just still shocked. So guys, we got hammered in Canada. It's here. Next year, I'm hoping to find more. I'm going to really... So the silver count, if you count the war nickel and the 50%ers, I got 53 silvers this year. Not bad for my first time. Next year, I hope to double it. That means double my hammer too. And that is it for my coins. Can't tell you how many hours I must have spent, how many holes I must have dug. You guys are all the same. You know what it's like. If you found this much stuff, chances are you've dug probably 50 times as many holes as what you see here. Alrighty then. So guys, show us your finds this year. I'd like to see how I did compared to all you seasoned metal detectorists. Till next time, see you later. Now before I let you go, I'll give you a little preview of next week's video. I'll be showing my bottle collection. I found all these in one bottle dump. Very lucky to live where I do. This was not far behind my house. Can't really see it in the camera, but this bottle's a wicked green color. There's some jars down there. If you look on this windowsill, we got more. We got more. In the cabinet, what's in here? Whoa, another hoard of bottles. Let's keep looking. There used to be some up there, but they're gone. More. So yeah, very lucky to find this bottle dump behind my house. And there's still many, many, many more bottles back there. My girlfriend started saying, you know, enough's enough. Stop dragging these bottles out. So my next video, I'll let you guys see all those cool bottles. Until next time, see you later.